Are you listening?
Welcome to another episode of the Nerf Report, your go-to source for all the week's gaming news, nerfed into one show once a week, so you can worry less about reading the news and get back to playing those video games. And on this week's episode, Call of Duty Mobile has officially beaten Fortnite. Doom Eternal gets a delay. The next chapter in Fortnite is finally upon us. And PlayStation gives us new details about the PlayStation 5, along with a first look at the DualShock 5 controller. And you know what? I actually have a DualShock 5 prototype here for review, so let me go get it. It's in my car. I will be right back. I know it's in here somewhere. Where did I put it? That's the note.
Hiya, Brian.
Jesus!
Oh, don't be startled. I'm just a friendly gaming clown in the sewer.
What are you doing in the sewer?
Oh, it's wonderful down here, Brian. We have no loot boxes, 0 microtransactions, crossplay, and we game all day long.
All day long?
You ever hear of Final Fantasy VII, the remake?
Yeah.
Oh, we have it down here, Brian.
That game's not even out yet. How do you have a copy of it?
You look more like a type of guy who would like Watch Dogs and Legions, wouldn't you? Oh, I would love to play this game with you, Brian.
How did you get that?
You should come down and play with me.
No, I should get going. I've got a show to film.
Oh, but don't go. Because if you go, who's gonna play Cyberpunk 2077 with me?
You have Cyberpunk 2077.
Won't you play Cyberpunk with me, Bryant? Come on, Bryant. Come play Cyberpunk with me.
First up this week, let's talk about some grand larceny. More specifically, the theft of $42,000 worth of equipment from Valve's headquarters. Back in 2018, 32-year-old Sean Chaputis was arrested for breaking into Valve's headquarters in Bellevue, Washington, and stealing over $42,000 worth of property. Sean's haul included over 38 games, Nintendo Switch consoles, gaming headsets, 15 Asus laptops, a couple of Steam consoles, and Gabe Newell's personal metal minigun. Man, that sounds like the weakest supermarket sweep haul I've ever heard of. I mean, come on. Everybody knows you don't steal Asus laptops. Those aren't worth anything. You always go for the laundry detergent. And in other news this week, Call of Duty Mobile has officially launched worldwide, and it is quickly reasserting its dominance. According to Sensor Tower, in its first week, Call of Duty Mobile generated more than 100 million downloads. That number dwarfs both PUBG Mobile and Fortnite, who each failed to surpass 30 million downloads in their first week. Now, Call of Duty Mobile is a free app, but that didn't stop it from generating over $17.7 million in its first week alone. And as far as a player base goes, according to Sensor Tower, iOS devices make up 56% of users, whereas Android devices make up 44% of in-game users. Gamers were given an update this week on the upcoming Doom Eternal game. The official Doom Twitter account posted an update on the game's development saying, Throughout the development of Doom Eternal, our goal has been to deliver a game that exceeds your greatest expectations across the board. To make sure we're delivering the best experience for Doom Eternal to live up to our standards of speed and polish, we've made the decision to extend our launch date by a few months to March 20th of 2020. We know many fans will be disappointed by this delay, but we are confident that Doom Eternal will deliver a gaming experience that is worth the wait. In addition to shifting the Doom Eternal launch date, we've made a couple other changes we wanted you to know about. Invasion mode, which will allow you to enter another player's game as a playable demon, will release as a free update shortly after launch. Doom Eternal for Nintendo Switch will release after the other platforms. We will announce that date in the future. Doom 64 will be available on the Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and PC in addition to Nintendo Switch. We are adding Doom 64 as a pre-order bonus for Doom Eternal on all platforms, so you'll be able to download and play this classic game for free, just for pre-ordering Doom Eternal. Doom 64 will be released on March 20th of 2020 on all platforms. And finally, for our top headlines, it's time to pay the bills and boost our SEO. So let's talk about some Fortnite. Fortnite, the world's biggest and most popular video game. But what if I were to tell you that Fortnite is coming to an end? Well, in a post on the official Fortnite Twitter account, Fortnite tweeted, "The end is near. 48 hours. The tweet also included a photo of players waving goodbye to the battle bus as it floats off into a beautiful sunset. Is this the end of Fortnite as we know it? What will happen to all my V-Bucks? Who will steal the cool features from other battle royales? Well, luckily for you and I, we don't have to wait 48 hours because the Italian Apple App Store accidentally leaked the next update for the Battle Royale video game. According to the leak, Fortnite Chapter 2 will be launching on October 13th at the end of Season 10. Now, it is currently rumored that Fortnite Chapter 2 will include a new map, new vehicles, and plenty of internet outrage to keep this show going for years to come. Well, that is going to wrap up this week's top headlines, so without further ado, let's jump into this week's top story with the rundown.
Now for something completely different, yeah.
PlayStation. This week marks the third episode in a row that PlayStation has taken our top story. And trust me, after years of poking PlayStation with a stick, begging it to actually do something, I couldn't be more excited. And this week, PlayStation decided to break the internet with a single tweet. PlayStation tweeted, "PlayStation 5 launches holiday of 2020. The tweet also included a link to the PlayStation blog, which covered the updates from Mark Cerny's most recent sit-down with Wired magazine. All right, everybody's thinking it, so I'm just going to say it. Which pagan god did Wired magazine make a deal with to get all these PlayStation exclusives? I mean, this is the second time that Wired has broken a PlayStation next-gen story. Come on, Mark. How are you going to ignore the captain of the Mark Cerny fan club? It's time that you show the Nerf Report some love too. Now, Mark Cerny took this opportunity with Wired to clarify a few questions that had arisen since the last article, more specifically in regards to ray tracing. Wired wrote, "When we last discussed the forthcoming console, Cerny spoke about its ability to support ray tracing, a technique that can enable complex lighting and sound effects in 3D environments. Given the many questions Cerny has received since, Cerny fears that he may have been ambiguous about how the PlayStation 5 would accomplish this, and confirms that it's not a software-level fix, which some had feared. There is ray tracing acceleration in the GPU hardware," Cerny says, which I believe is the statement that people were looking for. But that's not all. I mean, Cerny also stated that one of the most impressive features about the PlayStation 5 will be its brand new solid-state hard drive. It's not just the speed that makes the solid-state drive formidable, but the efficiency it offers. Think about the hard drive in a game console, spinning like a 5,400 RPM vinyl record. For the console to read a piece of information off the drive, it first has to send out the disk head like a turntable needle to find it. Each seek, as it's known, may entail only scant handful of milliseconds, but seeks add up. To minimize them, developers will often duplicate certain game assets in order to form contiguous data blocks, which the drive can read faster. If you look at a game like Marvel's Spider-Man, there are some pieces of data duplicated 400 times on the hard drive. The solid-state drive sweeps away the need for all that duping. So not only is its raw read speed dramatically faster than a hard drive, but it saves crucial space. How developers will take advantage of that space will likely differ. Some may opt to build a larger and more detailed game world. Others may be content to shrink the size of the games or patches. Either way, physical games for the PlayStation 5 will use 100GB optical discs inserted into an optical drive that doubles as a 4K Blu-ray player. Now, according to Cerny, the solid-state drive will also affect the process of installing video games as well. Game installation will be a bit different than in the PlayStation 4. This time around aided in part by the simplified game data possible with the SSD. Sony is changing its approach to storage, making for a more configurable installation and removal process. Rather than treating games like big blocks of data, Cerny says, we're allowing finer-grained access to the data. That could mean the ability to install just a game's multiplayer campaign, leaving the single-player game for another time, or just installing the whole thing and then deleting the single-player campaign once you finished it. Now, the final bit of news to come out of Sony's latest sit-down with Wired included our first look at a DualShock 5 controller. Wired wrote, the controller does have some features that Cerny's more interested in acknowledging. One is adaptive triggers that can offer varying levels of resistance to make shooting a bow and arrow feel like the real thing. The tension increasing as you pull the arrow back, or make a machine gun feel far different from a shotgun. It also boasts haptic feedback, far more capable than the rumble motors console gamers are used to, with highly programmable voice coil actuators located in the left and right grips of the controller. Combined with an improved speaker on the controller, the haptics can enable some astonishing effects. You can run a player through a platform level featuring a number of different surfaces, all of which give distinct and surprisingly immersive tactile experiences. Sand felt slow and sloggy. On ice, a high-frequency response made the thumbsticks really feel like my character was gliding. Jumping into a pool, I got a sense of the resistance of water, and on a wooden bridge, a bouncy sensation. Now, with the official release date of holiday 2020 being confirmed by PlayStation, we can expect a few things to happen next. PlayStation might return to E3 in 2020. We will definitely get more updates from Wired and PlayStation. Future state of plays may include a first glimpse at the new DualShock or even the PlayStation 5. And I will probably be claiming bankruptcy by the end of 2020 from all the new games and new consoles that I have to buy. And finally, for this week, we come to... That noise, of course, signifies that we are running out of time and coming close to the end of the show. So, in order to cover all the week's remaining news, we must initiate a segment that I like to call... Every single week, we have so much news to talk about and so little time to do it. So we take all the week's remaining news, put 60 seconds on the clock, and try to cover it as fast as humanly possible without running out of breath, passing out, or dying! So, with that in mind, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. Thunder noise! And... go! Rocket League is getting brand new Halloween content with Stranger Things. Good news for Apex fans. Vaults are now open in Apex Legends. The brand new Destiny 2 Shadowkeep raid was beaten in 6 hours. Incredible. IO Interactive is teaming up with Warner Brother Games to create a brand new gaming universe. All Elite Pro Wrestling is speculated to be working with Aki to create a brand new wrestling game. There are so many awesome things in that sentence. Crash Team Racing now has a brand new Halloween update. Mike Ibarra is leaving Xbox. Steam introduced a brand new feature called Remote Play Together, which you can wirelessly play your games and stream them to your phones, to your everything from your PC. PlayStation has issued a brand new patent for a wireless PlayStation VR headset. And finally, Ubisoft, that's right, Ubisoft is working on a brand new Watch Dogs animated TV show. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for Nerfed in 60 Seconds, and that is it for this week's episode of the show. If you like what you saw, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and please share it with your friends. As always, my name is Brian Chappelle. You are you, and this has been the Nerf Report. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks again for checking out our channel. If you like what you saw and you want to see more content just like this video, hit that subscribe button right there. And while you're at it, share it with your friends. Because the last two people that didn't subscribe to the channel, well, Rufus here got his hands on them, and needless to say, those skulls, well, they're subscribed now.